All right, good morning, everyone. Gonna jump into it here. All right. Obviously, yesterday a very, very quiet day for the most part. Going into the 2 o'clock in the afternoon session in the U.S. Which is 8 o'clock our time. You can see there the spike that we had. The spike that we had in the U.S. futures market, quite significant there. We obviously pulled straight back kind of after the minutes were released, which is quite interesting because we really finished as a total non-event on the day after the initial spike. You can see there all the sectors were mixed. The whole story. To be quite honest, Bernanke was about as dovish as you possibly could be, considering what we were expecting. And so we really didn't see much happen in the U.S. session, but in Asia we saw just an entire shift in commodity prices, metals prices, indexes, everything. So they basically said that highly accommodative monetary policy for the foreseeable future is what's needed in the U.S. economy. So, and also mention of 6.5% interest rates wouldn't necessarily, 6.5% unemployment rate wouldn't necessarily get them to stop stimulus. They said that the jobs data can be a little bit misleading. So it was just very, very dovish. Obviously, you're seeing all of that out of Asia this morning. Okay, this is a chart here to just show the divergence between there's gold spot there. There's the dollar index. You can see the U.S. 10-year Treasury, and then you can see the S&P. So I think it's that kind of divergence is quite incredible. And you see the way that those things start to move. You've seen the U.S. 10-year bond yields really start to come down again overnight a little bit. Dollar got pounded. Obviously, gold ran, and the S&P's had a nice night overnight as well. So it's just really driven things quite crazy. You can see that the yen has really strengthened against the U.S. dollar. A lot of those kind of U.S. dollar long trades have really unwound, and that's where some big positions were sitting. All right. So market data, corporate action today. We had Yum Brands that was out last night, and they beat on both numbers. I should say they beat on EPS and kind of in line in revenue at 56 cents versus expected at 54. Revenue was more or less in line. Then we have Old Mutual, which is out raised this morning to neutral versus underperform at Credit Suisse. And then at 10 o'clock we've got gold and coal miners to start wage negotiations between the Chamber of Mines and trade unions. So maybe a hopeful day for the local miners here. And then market data out today. We had Japanese machine orders out earlier, way better than expected. I think some of the data there has been good enough that Japan didn't do any additional stimulus this month, which they were kind of maybe expecting would come today, and didn't. Probably another reason for some yen strength there. Obviously, we also had the Australian unemployment rate at 5.7% versus 5.6%. I believe that's the highest unemployment rate since 2009 for Australia. So we continue to see Australia struggling. Later, we've got French CPI. Just a few minutes. We've also got SA manufacturing production at 1, and then we've got the initial jobless claims, which is the big number today, out of the States at 2:30. All right, let's jump into the maps. Okay, the first thing I wanted to show here is, I typed the wrong code there, is the gold spot price. That is not, is it? Sorry, that's why it wasn't coming up. All right, the gold price here, I'll zoom forward a little bit here so we can see this a little bit better, more clearly. But you can see where we really broke down from was at about, where things really started to get ugly was at about 1280, below 1285, on the gold price. We're above that now, only by about $3 or so. So this is important. If it can establish and can hold this level above 1285 on a closing basis today, then I think we're testing 1350, which is really where the major breakdown happened. So these are the kind of two significant levels: 1285 of less significance, 1350 of major significance. I see very little chance that, and also trendline resistance is going to kind of come in line up there around 1350. A little bit higher than 1350, but I think that it's important to note that the major breakdown happened at 1350, and the first test of that level, I would expect it to have a lot of trouble trying to get above there. Same thing for platinum. Show that this morning. Let me just see if I can get the future up. No. Okay, that's fine. I'll just go with this. It hasn't updated yet as of yet this morning. The reason why I was going to show this same sort of thing, the major breakdown from $1,400 in the platinum price. We're right at 1403.80 at the moment on spot, and that's what we're looking at here is spot at 1400. So this is a major level again for platinum. I think we got to watch this one really closely. If we can get above 1400, this thing could maybe start to gain a little bit of traction. But so long as we're under 1400, I think that the price of these platinum producers will really continue to be under pressure this morning, for the foreseeable future. Okay, we'll show the U.S. dollar rand as well. Just shorten this up a little bit. We've had a nice move out of the rand this morning to the upside. It's mostly been U.S. dollar weakness, to be honest. But you can see there in terms of where we're trading right at the moment is really right at trendline resistance on the rand, trendline support on the dollar. This is a major level. We know that the breakout really happened here at the 980 level. If you go back a little bit longer term, you can see that also. But we've kind of gone into a bit of a upward sloping channel here, which has the potential to break down out of now. I think if we drop this level this morning, I think if we can get above 990 on the rand, below 990, I should say, on the U.S. dollar, then I think this thing could have downside. I mean, it should at least test 980, and obviously through 980, then I think we could have a massive correction in the rand. So this is something to really keep a close eye on. I would expect it to weaken off of these levels, as that being the most likely result of this setup, but something to keep an eye on nonetheless. All right, have a look at Naspers here, and really, if you can see here how this thing is kind of failed initially. I wouldn't say failed, but it just couldn't break this 260 level, and it tried over and over. You can see here, this level right here is right at 260. I mean, 760. Poked its head above to 760 a couple times, a couple days, but couldn't get up there by more than a rand or two. It couldn't stay longer than 20-30 minutes, which is kind of one of those things we talk about. It's got to make a punch through. It's got to stay up there for longer. Those kind of things. It hasn't been able to do it, but what's interesting is that it hasn't been able to pull back either. And this is marking, let's see, going all the way back to the 4th. That's about five or six trading days now of consolidation right below the significant technical level, and really to me is starting to look less like a fail and more like a potential breakout to the upside through 760. So watch this level closely, and when we pop through 760, I mean, this thing's going to take off like a rocket in my mind. If we can get through 760, like I said, either hold it or make a little bit more of a punch through than just kind of one rand. Watch those Naspers really closely. It could be exciting action there in the next couple of sessions. All right. Sasol will show on a year chart. This is actually one of my favorite setups at the moment. We'll look at it in both ways. We'll look at it there. I mean, you can see how many days in terms of candles. What the hell's going on? Where's my mouse? Anybody got new batteries? My batteries just died on my mouse. You gotta be joking. Is that even possible? Sorry about that, guys. I'm kind of stuck in limbo. Who's got a couple double A's? Why don't you take them out that controller there, bro? Sorry, guys. Give me 2 seconds. The batteries just died on my... Oh, look at another one. Wait. I think we've got life here. Did you find?
Get it from Nolsey's vibrator.
But you can't say that. Who put ever-ready batteries in this thing in the first place? Sorry about that, guys. Okay. I'm gonna punch you in the face. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so one of the best setups, one of my favorite setups on the board at the moment, is Sassel flagging here off of 420. I mean, I think what we've got to remember here is light sweet crude. I mean, there's part of it's been a narrowing in the gap between light sweet and Brent oil, but light sweet's up literally about 10% in the last 10 sessions or so, and you can see here the potential for us to flag and break through here. I mean, you can also take it from the wicks. Whatever way you look at it, I mean, from the wicks, obviously, it's got a little bit more room to the upside, but I would look at this rather on a closing basis, which a close higher than yesterday's close would put us through this level, and I think we really can take off, and I think we will take out year's highs, as we get above this pattern and a few sessions only later. All right. Let's look at MTN. I'm going to back out into a weekly chart just to kind of smooth things over a little bit, and then maybe shorten it up a touch, and just kind of show here off of the close. Remember that you got to look at that red, the top of the red candle. That's not a close up there. That's where we opened on the day. We actually closed on there on that day. So the highest close we have on the weekly is at 184, and I think we are absolutely ready to potentially make a rip through that 184 level. If this thing just really feels like it's building through this pattern, and I think you start to look at what the number would be to the upside here. You're talking about potentially 30 Rand to the upside on MTN, which would put us all the way up at around 215, 212, 215, somewhere in that neighborhood. I mean, that's a heck of a long ways away from here. So keep that in mind. I really think there's a potential breakout in MTN that can be coming on the near horizon there. All right, we'll look at ShopRite. ShopRite has kind of come back down to the infamous 183 level over the last few sessions. We've had a couple little tests there. What's interesting now is we had been touching this level and failing at it over and over and over. I mean, you can see how many times there it just gets repetitive. But now we broke up through this level. We had the one day where we ripped down and closed below it, and the very next day we regained it. And we've kind of been setting up this beautiful little flag pattern here on the top of the 183 support level here. So I think we're actually setting up for a nice breakout to the upside here in ShopRite. If you ask me, I mean, it's really defined support 183. Below 183, you can set your stop, and then you can play it from there. All right, CFR, same sort of thing. We'll show the top end resistance levels here, very clearly defined. I would look at 92.50 as resistance on CFR. I mean, we closed yesterday in Switzerland at equivalent of 92. I kind of expect us to open up above this level this morning. If not above it, then right at it. There's two ways that you can look at this, because this is really, I mean, it's a two-day wonder from this whole, last 2 or 3 months. So I would look at it a little bit more from this consolidation here, which is between 86 and 92.5. But that takes our target up to about 100 Rand, and I think that's quite easily where we can get to. If you take it from the bottom of this channel, then you're looking at a target of about 102, I believe. So, but anyway, the chart in CFR looking very bullish. If we get above 92.50, can stick there for a little bit today. I think there could be a hell of a lot of room there, even today on the upside in CFR. All right, Barlow World. This is the last one I'm going to show on the local side here. Barlow's got a beautiful little inverse head and shoulder pattern setting up. There's actually a hell of a lot of inverse head and shoulder patterns setting up in the market, although be it on the shorter term, you can see typically over the last month and a half, 2 months, 3 months timelines. That's really what we're looking at. Barlow's just above 84, right around 84.70. I would peg as the breakout here on Barlow's. Target significantly higher, up close to 90 Rand on Barlow's if we can get above that. And the last thing I'll show is actually another local but listed overseas is SA Breweries. Same sort of thing. Beautiful inverse head and shoulder setup happening at the moment. Like I said, there's tons of these patterns happening at the moment, and we've got a great setup happening here. Remember, this is in pence, so we're looking at a little bit differently here, but I would, like I said, a little bit of a one-day wonder here. I would kind of throw this out here at about 32.75 in pence price for SAB. I think that's going to flirt with that early this morning. Watch it closely. If we get above there, you can play that on the long side. You can play CFR on the long side above 92.50. Nasper's above 760, and I really expect some of these stocks to open above these levels. So watch them closely early, guys. Could be some rips around this morning. That's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.